Welcome to another episode of the Profitable Home Services Podcast. Remember, this is the podcast where we get super excited about turning your company from a cash eating monster into a profit making machine for you. We are really passionate about adding profit and not just profit, but cash flow into your business so that you fall in love with your business again. Well, today we have another new topic for you, and I'd like to welcome Jackie Benjamin to our episode today as we will be talking about social media marketing, and I'm sure we're going to find some profit tips in there as we do on every single episode. So, with that, Jackie, welcome. Thanks for joining us.
Hi, Diane. Thank you so much for having me. It's an honor to be here.
Yes, as we were talking offline, I know that you work really hard to make home service businesses look good out there.
Yes,
I
we
was
do.
oversimplifying it
We
dramatically.
do. But that's the bottom line. That's what we do.
The bottom line,
For
yes,
sure.
just like my
For
own
sure.
VA makes me look good out there in the internet world,
Right.
we all need somebody behind us to do that part for us because
Hmm.
most of us are not blessed with the skills to know how to do that ourselves. We're really busy running our leading our teams, trying to, keep our sales where they need to be, and just all that stuff that goes into running a business. And then somebody tells me I should be posting on all these different social media channels and wait a minute, and I should be writing a blog and oh, and then I should have a book. But how in the world am I going to do all that?
Yes.
So help us.
Yeah. I know. Well, that's the hard thing is that all of those things need to happen, right? But they all take time. So the more things that you can take off your plate that somebody else could do with a little direction from you, all of those, that all applies to all of that, right? But especially from the social media side of things. So, and the way that we do social media is a little bit different even. So we do your traditional social media management that you think of when you hand it over to somebody and they create all the captions and the graphics and do the posting and scheduling for you. We also, for our clients, are answering comments in DMs, but then we're going another step beyond that. And we go out and find other businesses out there online or organizations that might be good collaboration partners for our clients. So, for example, for our HVAC clients, we might be starting to build these relationships online with plumbers or electricians or home inspectors, realtors, those types of folks. So we're going out and finding those other local accounts and local businesses to interact with and engage with on their content. So now they're seeing us, they're seeing our name, and so are their followers on social media as well. So we're that takes even more time,
It
right?
does.
So if you
Who's got time for all that?
yeah, yeah. So, it's if you're not doing that, it's okay. Like it's fine to just be posting and sending things out there. But I always say it's like going to a networking event and standing in the corner. It's great that you're there, but where's the interaction? Like, what are you doing about it? So,
You
again,
just
it takes
painted
more
a pic.
time.
You just painted a picture of me at a networking
Right.
event.
Okay. All right. So, yeah. So,
I'm
so
the
you
person,
understand.
I'm the person that says, okay, you must talk to whatever the magic number is, three, maybe four, maybe five
Right.
people, and then you can
Right.
go home.
Right. Right. Exactly.
So
Exactly. And yep.
yeah, so I know I myself have a hard time going out there because that's not who I am. I tend to be just
Right.
more of a quiet, introverted kind of a person. And
Hmm.
so we sometimes need to surround ourselves with somebody who's gifted with those skills.
Right.
And
Yes.
that's
Yeah,
somebody like you
definitely.
guys in your team, where they
Yeah.
enjoy going out and doing these things and posting and commenting and those those types of services that we all need so badly.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they're creatives. My team are creatives, so of course they love the creative part of it. And then they also are like to be challenged. So the challenge of growing an account and thereby growing a business through engagement, like they are always coming up with new ideas. Like, what if we tried this or what if we tried that? So, it's kind of fun to see them be challenged to grow
Uh-huh.
and truly with social media platforms changing quite frequently, the algorithms changing, and you want to make sure that you're doing something consistent besides just posting. So It's great that they're always kind of coming up with these new ideas about engagement. Like, how can we engage better? How can we engage differently with some of these businesses so that, not only do they become relationships and collaboration partners, but that again, their audience is now seeing our audience. So if I'm one of our HVAC clients and I'm interacting with a plumber, their audience have homes and they need services like HVAC too. So they're seeing our name out there. And so, as you were saying, it goes the same for social media sometimes. Like people aren't thinking about that or comfortable with doing
Right.
that. It doesn't have to be, it shouldn't be spammy, right? It should just be the social part of social media. It should just be conversation starters. But people get a little nervous about that because you are reaching out to somebody that you haven't met before. You maybe don't know, but maybe you've heard of because you're local businesses, but that can feel the same way sometimes as being at a networking event and saying
Yes.
like, oof. And so,
What do I
we
do?
tell, yeah, right, exactly. And we have kind of a 15-minute checklist for people, and it's like go out to the same number, 3 to 5 other accounts of businesses and just start following them and engaging on this. So it's not like everybody, right?
So, so I can hear somebody sitting in my ear going, well, how would somebody on your team be able to represent me and comment and like and things like that? How could they do that? They don't know me that well.
Yeah, so that's a great question. So it kind of starts with our onboarding process. So in our kickoff meeting, we are, we're kind of doing a deep dive into our clients' businesses. So that includes, things like what are we trying to accomplish with social media and those types of things. But also we talk about engagement, like what kinds of businesses would be really good for you to start engage with top
Okay.
tier. And so, and then the second tier is kind of local chambers, local organizations, even doctor's office, dentist office, orthodontist. The people in those audiences of those local businesses most likely have homes. And if they have homes, they need home services. So that can be a little bit more generic, but the initial tier of people that we are engaging with, we are getting right directly from our clients. And then if we have then we get to learn their businesses through the content that we're creating, of course. And then there might be something that we can't answer, and then we'll defer to the client, send it over like, hey, we just
Okay.
got this DM or we just got this comment, because sometimes they ask something very specific.
Hmm.
And if that happens, then we defer to the client, like, how would you like us to answer this? And then
Okay.
when they send us back that answer, we start building onto our answer bank. So we get that question again, then we know how to answer it.
Okay. Well, that makes a
Yeah, but
lot of sense.
it's a great question though, because, and then I meet with our clients monthly to talk about strategy. So if there's something we need to discuss further about engagement, we have that opportunity every month to do that.
Love that idea too,
Yeah,
because
yeah,
otherwise the business owner, they're busy and they're not even thinking about
right.
what's going on over on the social professional sense. Now they might in a personal
Mhm.
sense, where they're out there,
Yes.
they're interacting with their friends or their family, things like that, but not
Yeah,
necessarily on the professional side.
yeah,
And I know
yeah.
I've hit so many, um, I'll just use Facebook pages as an example
Hmm.
of home service businesses. And the last time that anybody's posted anything was 2 years ago.
I
And if a
know.
customer, a potential customer hits your page and you haven't posted in 2 years, they're looking at
Yeah.
that going, ooh, is this business still in business?
Yes, I
I
know. It's
mean,
the
that
first question you ask.
those doubts
Right.
sit there. And so
Yeah.
it's so important to show that you're active. And I know something else that I notice a lot because I'm on people's pages constantly
Yeah.
is showing pictures that are human. It's really easy
Right.
to do a graphic. Here's an image
Yes.
of a pretend guy in front of a panel or whatever, but to
Hmm.
actually show somebody from your team.
Yes. And
Put that human connection on there. And I know I'm so guilty of not doing that myself.
yeah.
We don't have a lot of shots on our own pages of our team doing things because it's kind of boring. We sit behind a desk and work all day.
Yeah.
But,
But
being
there's
able
things
to
you could
show.
do.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Yep.
Yeah.
And people do love to see those. They love to
They
see the
do.
teams.
Yeah.
They love to see. So today happens to be National Dress Up Your Pet Day. So we actually have a couple of clients of ours who had some pets in the office, people's
Oh,
pets that
cool.
they dressed up. So we asked them to send us some photos of that so we
Uh-huh.
could create some posts for that. I think that those types of things people really love to see and they
They
do
do.
really
Yeah.
well. And, it does put the human face on it. And sometimes I'll have to use stock images because of whatever reason.
Right.
Sometimes our clients don't have time to create a lot of content for us. So we're working with the content that we've got, but it is really important to show that side of it. And the other thing that does really well are educational posts. So
Okay.
not where we're talking about promotions or selling our services or
Hmm.
anything like that, but just educating people. We have a plumbing and sewer company that we're working with, and they right now where they are is big time rainy season. So French drains are huge. So we did some posts around like, what does this mean? What does it do for you? How do you
Okay.
get one, and what does it look like? And those were some of our best posts for that month.
Wow. Okay.
So people like to be educated now on social
Uh-huh.
media as well.
Okay. Good information. Yes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, so it's kind of interesting when some of the things you think are going to do really well are neither one of those, and then you see it, they're not definitely not the favorites, um but yeah, for sure that's part of
Mhm.
figuring out what is going to get engaged with from your own side of it. And then when you are engaging with other posts, like I think about what our team does, our team engages with those same types of posts, the posts that
Mhm.
are, fun, maybe showing something personal, maybe on the side of, on the inside of the business, doing some kind of education, like, oh, hey, great tip. Make sure like a realtor posts something around spring maintenance tips for your home.
Mhm.
One of our HVAC clients, we would post, hey, great tip, make sure that you tell them to change their air filters. And then maybe ask a question like, how often do you think people actually change their air filters? And just try to get that conversation going
Okay. Okay.
with that. So those are some of the things we're looking for to engage
Mhm.
with as well.
So do you actually get people to engage and comment back and answer questions and things?
Yeah, we do. And what I tried to communicate too is from that, let's say it's a realtor that we're putting that comment on, it benefits them to engage with us because
Uh-huh.
now we're just feeding the algorithm between
Right.
the two of us.
Mm.
So it benefits them to comment back on us. And the kind of the more that we do that with each other, the better.
Uh-huh. Very good.
Yeah.
So what are the social media channels that most of your not HVAC, but your home service businesses
Yeah.
posting on, or that you have them posting on?
Yeah. So mostly it's Facebook and Instagram.
Okay.
So we do post on LinkedIn for some that do commercial.
Uh-huh.
So if they do commercial
Okay.
work, we will post some on LinkedIn for the ones who do commercial and residential. But right now it's mostly those two. And the reason it's not TikTok and YouTube shorts is because of the content. So
Right.
that requires a lot of different type of content videos, of
Hmm.
course. And unless you have somebody at that organization, at that company who is really dedicated to that, it's hard to get that quantity of
Right.
content. So
And
we're
keep it
working on
consistent.
we're working on a new package that will include a GoPro and some editing on our side to
Hmm.
help the home service businesses more easily create some of that content without, feeling like they're dancing on a TikTok. So we're always trying to come up with some new
Uh-huh.
ideas to help
Okay.
them create some content like that would be way easier for them.
Uh-huh. Yeah, because it is challenging to even train yourself enough to stop and I was thinking last week we got dumped on snow ice around here, and the snow was
Oh
fairly
gosh.
deep, and we were out there shoveling. And when we got all done, I thought, well, I should have done a quick little video of us shoveling
Right.
out there. But who
Yes.
thinks about it? The snow's there, you got
Right.
to get it out. We're trying to get it clean because the plow's coming, and
Right.
you're just busy. You just go at it. And I know that's how life is in
Yep.
most businesses, not just home services, but most businesses is you hit the ground running in the morning and you leave at night and it's just
Right.
just as hard as you can go all day long. And we
Yeah, it's
always
so
stop and
true.
think about we had opportunities, but we didn't see them because we were
Right.
busy.
Yes. And it's
Yeah,
so true. And it's not in, most of our clients, all of our clients, this isn't their main thing, right? It's
no,
not their top of mind. Like
no,
they're running their business trying to, sell more, get more clients, get people to join their memberships, those types of things. And so when they have their techs out in the field, that's not their first go-to
no,
either.
no.
So, it's almost like you need to kind of pick somebody on your team and somebody that would be willing to do that, who will remember to take it on as one of their responsibilities and assign it to that person so that when they're out there, they can grab some pictures or if you've got a trainer on your team and they're out training, that's a great person to
That's
make
a
that person because
okay.
they can really more easily get the pictures of the trainees doing the work. And for social media, it doesn't matter if they're brand new on the job or they're not. We can't see enough of the job to know,
Right.
unless
Yep.
it's a very specific video, right? So it is difficult to remember to all the other things you have to remember, right? When you get in the house, from maybe putting on booties to making sure you give someone a receipt or making sure they're signing something. I mean, there's so many things from the second you get there to the second you leave
Yeah.
that social media is not always the first
Yeah.
thought, but it is important to have those types of behind the scenes even
Right. Yeah.
work. Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One more thing to
Yeah.
put on the checklist.
Yes, I know, I know. And that's why I would say it's great to have one person as opposed to say, hey, team, when you're out there in the field, can you get some pictures and videos? Because then it's not put on anybody,
No, and nobody's
you
going to
know?
stop long enough to even do it. Or if they do it,
Right.
might be once and then
Right.
they're
Right.
busy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
like
So
that
it's,
idea. Somebody on the team,
hmm
somebody who's your trying to think of a name you could give them. Your chief
right.
something officer, your chief I don't know. We have to come up
Content.
with a
Yeah. Your
creative name.
chief, yeah. Your chief content
Content
gatherer or
officer
something
or
like that.
something. Yeah.
Right. Right. Yeah.
Yeah. And that is
Yeah.
just one of their duties. I like that a lot because
Hmm.
it is so hard to make yourself even think along those lines when life is so
Right.
busy at work. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Like you were talking about the shoveling snow, right? And that's something that was probably not, I mean, even if you knew the snow was coming, wasn't expected in your day, you haven't planned it, right?
Mhm.
That's something like
Nope.
those things are happening all the time. And so to have
Yeah.
then somebody then to think about, oh my gosh, we need to be doing something with social media for
Yeah.
this. Like that's just it's hard to jam all that in.
It is. Yeah. Yeah. Well, when you see your home service guys successfully working a social media program that you're helping them
Hmm.
with, how does that equate to dollars and cents? Because we always have to come back to what's the return on investment, the ROI.
Right.
If I'm paying for a social media package, what's the
Hmm.
return on investment for that?
Yeah, so that's a great question. So a couple of things. So just from the posting alone, first of all, as you had mentioned, if you go to an account that hasn't posted anything in 2 years, then you don't think they're quote real, or they're probably, are they even going to show up, right? So
Right. Yeah.
that's a loss right there. I mean, that's a job lost right there if you don't have an active social media page because people are going to check you out there and then go with another guy. So if you're not actively posting, then that can be a big detriment to
So
the
that
to the
could be
bottom line.
thousands of dollars a month, multiple thousands a month you're
Yeah.
losing right there.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And then the next piece of it is if you're not answering comments and DMs, because that's where the magic is happening with between the
Okay.
engagement and the comments and the DMs. So if you're not answering and if you're not being proactive and going out there and finding other businesses to engage with. So we get our clients get a lot of comments and DMs. Do you service my area? Do you put in
Okay.
this do you do this type of service? Do you like, those are people that are looking for someone to come and do work for them. So if you're just ignoring those, you're ignoring business. So
And and based in the home service world, you need to be responding to them quickly.
Right.
not
Yes.
within a
Yep.
week or something like that, because they found
No, yeah.
somebody. Yeah.
Yes, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. You need to be responding quickly. And then the third piece of that is if you aren't going out there and engaging with other businesses, then they don't even know you exist. So how could
Right.
they
Okay.
ever possibly pull you into a job
Right.
if they don't know anything about you? If they haven't seen you, if they haven't met you in the community, met you at some networking thing or anything like that, if they've never heard of you, there's no way you're getting business from them.
Right.
So
Yeah.
even if you are starting to build this relationship with them online and starting to comment on their content and maybe, every once in a while just sending a DM like, hey, we're here. These are the types of services we do if you ever need it, and something like that. Again, not salesy, not spammy, just letting those businesses know we're here for you if you ever need us.
Hmm. Okay. I like that too. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
When home service companies work with you, do they see an immediate uptake, or is this a longer term play?
Yeah, that's a great question, one we get quite often. So this is definitely a longer term play. So if you think of it like SEO versus Google ads,
Okay.
right? It's kind of the same thing. So social media versus ads, social media ads, Meta or what have you. So it's a definitely a longer term play because it's organic. I always say it's time or money, right?
Right.
You can pay for those ads and get really quick results, or you can spend the time and build your foundation over time. So for our clients, we start depending on how active they were before they got to us, which most of them haven't been super
Right.
active.
Uh-huh. Yep. Mhm.
Um, we'll start seeing results in the first couple months. But
Okay.
what we really start seeing a change is around that 6, 9 months kind of when we've really been able to start doing a lot of we've already been engaging with these other businesses. We're curating our clients feeds now so that we're seeing on a daily basis the content from these other businesses that we're connected with, and so that makes it a lot easier to engage with that. So it really, like I said, 6 to 9 months is when we really start seeing a bigger change. But if they haven't been doing anything with their social media, we're going to start seeing something in the first month.
Okay. Okay.
So, but it's not necessarily going to build the conversions in the first
Right.
month,
Yeah.
like an ad would, for example. Yep.
Well, most home service people are working with homeowners,
Hmm.
and when a homeowner has a problem, we know that they do a certain amount of research before they ever reach out to you.
Right.
Talk a little bit about that. How do
Yeah.
they
Yep.
find out about you? What do they
Yes.
find?
So, right. So for our clients, well, again, one of the reasons why they have it's so important for them to have an active social media accounts, because they are going, so, websites are still big, of course. Google is still, if you, people are still Googling, I need HVAC maintenance now because
Uh-huh.
their heater broke in the middle of winter, right? Um, so that's all still very important and that's happening. And that might be the first step, but then the socials are definitely a deeper dive into making sure a company is quote real, right? And it's not shifted all the way, but with of course with our AI search engines, it's changing the landscape a little bit more even because now you can do the same search in a chat GPT or something like that and get results that are not paid for. They're all just based on content. Whereas if you're going to Google and doing that, you're getting results paid for, and everybody skips the first three ones that say sponsored anyway
Right.
and jumps down to jumps down to the ones that aren't paid. So to have this social media foundation, especially now, is very important. And one of the cool things that just happened with Instagram over the summer is that they've opened up their content to be indexed by search engines, which
Oh, good.
means, yeah, which means that you might not even have an Instagram account. And one of my clients' posts might show up in your Google feed because it's being picked up by Google search engine. So Google, Bing, all those. So it's another way to show your content, your expertise, And now that's all showing up in Google as well. So it's very important to have that social media foundation.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. That's very powerful. And a lot of people don't know that's happening. And that's why it's important also to make sure if you're using keywords, which everybody should be, to make sure those keywords are incorporated in your captions
Okay. So
because Google's
Google
picking those
and
up.
right.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
I like that
Yeah.
idea too. Yeah. I
Yes.
just
Yeah.
know that trust is such a big issue in today's world. We live in a
Hmm.
very untrusting society, rightly
Yeah.
so, because
Yeah.
there's, so much bad happening out there. And so how do you earn those people's trust quickly so that they do feel comfortable reaching
Right.
out to you? And I know that that whole social media presence, are you serving um your community? Are you putting educational information out there?
Mhm.
Are you visible? It goes a
Right.
long ways in building that trust pretty quickly.
Yeah, and I think you hit a really good key point is are you putting the educational information out there? So you could be visible and being just totally salesy. Promotion,
Okay,
promotion, promotion,
that's
guy,
right. Yeah.
buy now, book us, book us, book us, book us, right? Um, that that is what erodes trust.
Uh-huh.
So, I'm not saying don't ever do that. There's times you do want to do that. Everybody's got promotions or
Right.
seasonal type things, right? Like there's times to do that, but it's the education piece. It's the behind the scenes type things. That's what's building the trust out there on social media is giving a little glimpse into the real people behind the business.
And I think showing that the business cares because
Yes.
it's all about relationships anymore. Can we
Hmm.
build a relationship quickly that you
Right.
now feel comfortable coming to my company for whatever my service is? And I think a lot of that, I'm serving you by letting you know, watch for these three things in your heating system or whatever it might be, your
Yeah.
roof, your plumbing, whatever it might be. You know, top three things you need to know about this, top five things,
Hmm.
particular noise, just those
Right.
kinds of things. You're really serving your community when you do that.
Yes.
And that
Yeah.
makes great fodder then for social media and for Google and for AI and everybody to find.
Yeah, definitely. And I think the other thing you kind of hit on is people want to know that you care. And so our clients are local businesses. So, and a lot of them are very active in their local communities.
Hmm.
So those types of things, showing that on Facebook, whether it's a toy drive at the holidays or a, school giveaway, or even just showing up at a local, dog festival or something like that, just being a part of the community. And so many of the local businesses do that, but don't really talk about it.
Right.
So that's another great way to build trust with the community.
Because, yeah, I know it's hard to talk about because you feel like you're bragging about yourself.
Right.
And reality, you're showing community ties out to your
Yeah,
community.
exactly. And if you have a social media manager, then they're bragging about you. So it doesn't, you're
Right.
not even bragging about yourself.
Right. And as you were talking, I was just thinking, we just finished up our 16th annual food drive and collected more food this year than we've ever collected. And
Oh
we
my
didn't even
gosh.
post it anywhere.
Right.
I
Yeah. I
can't
mean,
believe
that's
we forgot.
amazing
We
you
got
did
so
that.
busy,
It's
we didn't
amazing.
do it.
I know. I know. That's what happens, right? You
Yeah.
do the things you don't think about, like you said, kind of it feels like bragging. You don't think
Uh-huh.
about that, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's just not a normal, it feels awkward
Right.
to do
Yeah.
that, right? But people do want to know that. People want to know
Right.
you're involved in the community, what
Well,
you're doing to help out, It's
I'm
great.
thinking I can still salvage it because I just got a thank
You
you note
can.
from the food bank.
Yes.
And so I
Yes,
could
that's
do the
perfect.
thank you note and a picture of what we collected and still
Yep.
do something about that. Thank
Yep, we've
you.
actually done that for a client who they did a toy drive at Christmas a couple of
Uh-huh.
years ago, and they got the thank you letter back from the toy drive place,
Mhm.
and that's what we used for our post is we used the thank you note from the toy
Right.
drive the place they did it for. So
Yeah.
yes, you still have time. It's not
I
too
still
late.
have time. I can be redeemed.
Do it, do it. Yes.
But here, that's just an example. You're so busy that
Right.
totally just went. So
Yes.
if it
Yes,
happens to
exactly.
me, it happens to other people.
Yep,
Don't
100%.
even
I mean,
think about it.
it does. And like people shouldn't feel bad about it. You do what you can do. It'll become a habit.
Yeah.
It will become a habit. The more that you start thinking about or taking pictures when you do something like that, or taking videos, or it will become a habit. It's just a matter of just starting.
Uh-huh. Yeah. So new year, new goals.
Yes. Yes.
Let's let's
Yes.
let's make this part of our thought process.
Yes,
Thinking
definitely.
about, being active out on social media.
Yes. And I would say, like for me, as like obviously the engagement is a big part for us. If you can, even if you can post just once a week to get some fresh content out there, like that's just to know, like you said, that people are real. Don't go out there and see like last time they posted was 2 years ago. Like, are they really going to
Right.
respond? Right. So
Yeah.
just have some fresh content. Even if you can just post once a week, just get some fresh content. But then spend that 15 minutes a day. And we've got a checklist on our website that people can download if they want
Oh,
to, print it off or put it on their phone or do whatever. It's a 15-minute daily checklist that just kind of takes them through it, the engagement piece of it, so they can quickly just go through it, not get bogged down. Like sometimes it's just a matter of like I said, just starting, but people get bogged down in like, okay, oh my gosh, now how many of these do I have to do? I have to go start commenting on everything. Like, what am I doing now? Like, how much time is this going to take? And I think people don't realize like just 15 minutes a day could really make a big difference.
so where can somebody go to find that checklist?
Yes, so they can go to our website. So it's www.weassistbusiness.com. There's a resources tab that they can find it right under there and download it and use it every day.
Very good. I think I'll have to go
Yeah.
out there and download that because I
Yeah.
definitely struggle in that area.
Yeah, it's we tried to make it as easy as possible and just a quick little thing. And it's something that you can hand to one of your CSRs maybe if they have 15 minutes in between calls. If you've got somebody who's in your office, who's an office manager or somebody like that, it doesn't have to necessarily be the owner. It could be somebody else in the business that maybe has 15 minutes in their day while they're in between tasks
Okay.
or waiting for the next phone call or that kind of thing. So it could, be easily handed off to somebody
Okay.
else.
That's got to be a relief that it can be delegated.
Yes, yes, rest. Exactly. Yes. If you can, please delegate it if you can. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, for
Not the
sure.
best and highest use of an owner's time.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
Trying to think of some other good questions that somebody would have for you. What
Yeah.
haven't I
Well,
asked you about this?
well, I was going to say that one of the questions that we do get sometimes is or people are wondering how, I mean, is basically like how this works, like how how like you were asking me
Okay.
earlier, how do
Yeah.
how do you get to know us, how do you get to know our business? um because we work in the home services primarily, we get to know a lot of those types of the verticals within home services. So
Mhm.
just understanding the seasonality of the business and the types of comments and everything. But again, we're meeting with our clients monthly. So we do that initial deep dive into their business, but then we can spend more time talking about, again, now, are there more businesses we should start engaging with? Are there, more organizations that you belong to that we should start engaging with? So, we do our best to learn as much as we can about the business and the types of their voice, the types of answers that they would have. And then, as I mentioned, we do build an answer bank. So when these questions come in, we don't always have to go to the business, that we can start answering these questions on our own.
Mhm.
So that takes it, off of the owner's plate. So another question we get is how much time do they need to spend with us and on their social media? So again, we do the 30-minute meeting a month. And then we do give all of our clients the approval if they would like to approve their posts. Some do, some don't. Some we just
Okay.
approve
Okay.
for them.
Mhm.
Some like to see them. And so, that just depends on them. It takes them, 10, 15 minutes to go through them, but it doesn't take a lot of their time. We send them posts a month in advance.
Okay.
So we're trying to use as little of their time on social media as humanly possible. so that they can really just know that they can trust us, that their social media is in good hands.
This is great. Sounds like you've got a very nice, robust package there for them.
Yes, we try.
Yeah.
We've learned, over the years that um, trying to make it as easy for them, we've kind of picked up some tips and tricks along the way that we've taken on ourselves to get off of their plate so that they don't have to think about it.
Right, right. Okay,
Hmm.
very good.
Yep. Yeah.
Wow, I'm impressed. If I was a social media company or social media, if I was a home services business, I'd be saying, where can I sign up about now? This sounds
Yeah.
very good. Yeah,
Yeah.
such a
Yeah. It was.
needed service out there.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. And I think the other thing we hear too is, my all my business is done on referrals and has been for a really long time. I don't even need social media. But the
Oh,
world
no,
is
no, no, no.
changing.
Yes, you
The
do
world
need
is
social
changing,
media.
right? And so the world is changing and social media is changing. Generations are changing. There's generations now that have grown up with always having social media.
Yeah,
And as everybody ages, right, they are starting to buy homes. They are starting to become those
yep,
late 20s, early 30s, right? So it's great that your business has always run on referrals, but what happens when it doesn't?
right. Yes.
Right? Like it's with all the other marketing pieces out there. Like you need to be doing some of these things. And this is just another way to have your name out there, kind of, on this digital billboard, if you will,
Mhm.
just putting content in front of people and letting them see it. However many times now it is, used to be 7 times somebody had to see something, and now it's like 13. I don't know. It's
It's a
it's
lot.
gotten yeah, it's gotten to be so much more, but just constantly seeing your name out there is just helpful.
Yeah. And I think we have to remember too that just because we put something out there doesn't mean they saw it.
Right.
We
Yes.
have to put
Yep.
several messages out there before they see one because they're
Hmm.
busy. They're not seeing
Right.
everything that we put out.
Yes, exactly. Yep,
Yeah.
exactly. And that's again where the engagement piece comes in too a little bit because now more businesses and more people will see it opens up a whole other audience
Mhm.
to our clients because now those other businesses audience are seeing us too. So it kind of, that piece opens up a whole other audience to you.
Mhm. Yeah, very good. Wow.
Yeah.
There's a lot
Yeah.
to this.
Yes, there is. And yes, and it's great fun. And we love it. And it's, changes a lot based on what social media platform is doing, but we try to stay up with, the latest things that are going out there, whether it's, the indexing by Google now and Instagram or all the stuff with AI that's coming out. There's a lot coming at us all the time around social
Yes.
media and how we should do it and how we shouldn't do it. Um, and we just try to stay up with all of that to make sure that we're getting the best results we can.
Mhm. Good. Well, Jackie, we've come to the part of the program that I know everybody's been waiting for. They
Yes.
love the question at the very end of each podcast episode where we ask, what is a hidden or unique profit leak that you see when you're working with these home service businesses?
Yes. So one of the biggest ones that we see this kind of profit leak is in the DMs in the comments. When people are commenting in DM to our clients or, to an HVAC or a plumber asking, again, do you service my area? Do you do this kind of, do you put in French drains? Do you do that? And they're not answered back.
Okay.
So that's huge because not only are you losing that job, anybody who saw that you didn't answer them, they're probably not going to reach out to you either.
Right. Right.
So that can compound on itself. So that's a huge profit leak right there that like I would say plug that one real quick. Put
Because,
someone in front of that and like you
yeah,
said, it has to happen in real time. We
quickly.
can't wait a
Right.
week to answer those
Right.
questions,
Yeah. And I
So
think then that person will tell other people too. Hey, I reached out and nobody answered me.
right.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, right, exactly. And they're going to move on.
Right. Yeah. To
Yep.
somebody who
Yep.
is responsive. Yeah.
Hmm.
Well, I will
Yep.
say that
So
is
that's
a leak
huge.
that we have not had on this program yet. So thank you for
Okay.
giving
All
us a
right, great.
brand
Yeah.
new one.
Yes, you
Uh,
you are welcome.
yeah. Very good. How can home service guys, what's the best way for them to reach out? Because I'm sure that by now we've got a few of them going, sign me up
Yeah. Yeah.
to get to you.
Yeah, great. So you can go out to our website. Again, it's www.weassistbusiness.com, and there's a button down there. You can set up a meeting directly with me, and we can just chit chat about your social media and what that looks like and what you might need. If they're on LinkedIn, they can reach out to me on LinkedIn, DM me on Instagram. If they're on Instagram, probably they're not if they need us. And also our phone number is on our website, so they can certainly call me anytime.
Okay, very good. Thank you so much for that.
Yeah, yeah,
And I'm hoping that, you guys that are maybe a little weak, or you're working with a company who might not be as responsive as you'd like them to be, be sure and give Jackie's team a call. It sounds like, they care a lot, and that can make all the difference in the world for your social media presence. So now,
yeah.
before we wrap up this episode, I'd like to ask a little question to our listeners. Have you ever wondered at the end of the day why your checkbook doesn't match the effort that you put into trying to keep your sales rolling and get all these jobs done on time and correctly? Does your checkbook balance not match that effort? Well, if you're nodding your head and saying yes, I'd love for you to download my free The 15 Common Profit Leaks report. We'll have a link to that at the bottom of our show notes. We'd love for you to download that and just take a look at those profit leaks and go, oops, I got that one. Ooh, that one there. Ooh, here's another one over here. I know when I use this particular document in my coaching programs, my coaching members usually come up with most of those 15 as profit leaks in their business. And then we're able to start doing some triage, grab the biggest ones and get them plugged, put that money back in that business. Because your business shouldn't be a leaky bucket. It should be a profit making machine. So grab that free resource. We'd love to share it with you. And then we'd love to hear your success stories. We're always looking for good successes. Share them with us. We're happy to spread your story out in the home services industry world. So, thank you so much for joining us on another episode. And with that, I think Jackie and I are going to say thank you, and we'll catch you
Yeah.
on a future episode. I'm Diane Gardner,
Okay.
your host of the Profitable Home Services podcast. I can't even say my own podcast name. Bye, everybody.